Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining 365 Careers online course dedicated to PowerPoint. In this course we will go through the key steps which will enable you to create impressive PowerPoint presentations and give a professional touch to the output of your work. The aim of this course is to provide you with all of the necessary tools that will allow you to create complete PowerPoint presentations containing text, objects, graphics and images. Moreover, we will work hard on the aesthetic layout of each slide in order to render it as professionally looking as possible. At this point, I would like to present you the instructor of this course. His name is Ned Krastev, and he has an extensive working experience considering his age of 27. Before joining 365 Careers, Ned worked in financial advisory and corporate finance. He has gained practical experience on a number of projects, some of them multi-million, even multi-billion merger and acquisition deals that were carried out in Italy, Switzerland, Germany and Poland. He has prepared PowerPoint presentations that have been in front of some of the most influential executives in Europe. Given that Ned only graduated a few years ago, he still remembers well which are the tools that you will need in order to perform successfully at your new job. Have fun watching the lessons and do not hesitate to post a question should you require any clarifications.
Hello, I would like to thank you for joining the course too. I am really glad that we will work together. The aim of this course is that you become a first-class PowerPoint user. By closely following all of the lessons, you will give your career a significant boost and will have every chance of success in the future. Sound exciting? Well, let's get started. First things first, let's go through the main tabs within PowerPoint and describe their content. The first tab that we see on the ribbon is the one colored in red, the File tab. Within the File tab, we will find several basic commands such as Save, Save As, Open, and Close. If we click on Info, we will find the Permissions section in which we can create a password for the document. Once a password is chosen, the user will have to type it in every time before opening the document. Under Print, we find all the options related to printing. We can select whether we want to print all slides or just a specific part of the document, how many slides to be included in each page, whether to use colors, etc. If we click on Options, a dialog box opens. We are able to select some of the user interface options, the type of proofing to be applied, saving options, language options, and advanced options. In one of the next lessons, we will dedicate some time to the Quick Access Toolbar, which is an important instrument in PowerPoint. Let's go ahead and take a look at the commands that are available within the Home tab. It contains some of the most frequently used properties. Buttons such as Cut, Copy, and Paste that can transfer text, data, or objects within your files. Most of the formatting options are included here as well. You will find features such as font, font size, text color, text alignment, etc. Within the Home tab, we can also find the very useful button Arrange, which allows us to group items and align objects. The Insert tab will let you add objects to your slides. You can insert things such as pictures and clip art images by using this tab. It also allows you to add a number of items, among which are shapes, smart art, text boxes, equations, video, and audio. The next tab in the ribbon is the Design tab. It contains the basic slide formatting tools. Themes are an easy way to design a whole slideshow. Every slide in the presentation will change to match the background, font, colors, and effects that are preset for each theme. The good point about themes is that they are easy, quick, and make your presentation look nice. The bad point about themes is that there are only 4 or 5 really good ones to choose from, and everyone repeatedly uses them. That is why I would suggest that you do as much of your theme design by yourself as possible. The slides that we will create in this course would not use a ready theme. In this tab, you can also modify the background of the slides within your presentation. The Transitions tab enables users to change slide transitions, set different properties or timings for the transitions of their slides, and generally adjust their preferences regarding slide transitions. Here is the fun part of PowerPoint: animations of objects. You can make just about any object move in and out and fly around in almost any way that you can imagine. We will examine animations more closely in some of our next videos. The next tab in the ribbon is the Slideshow tab. It contains tools that control the slideshow presentation. Under the Review tab, you will find instruments that enable you to proofread your PowerPoint files. In addition to that, here are the Comments and Review functionalities. The way you see your presentation can be customized in the View tab. Inside of this tab, we have all the Slide Master options, which we will see in detail later in the course. Here, users can also find the Zoom, Color, Window, and Macro options. This was our quick overview of the structure of PowerPoint's tabs. In our next lesson, we will go much deeper and examine in detail many of the advanced features of PowerPoint. Thanks for watching. Hi! During the first video of this section, we will cover a very important topic: spacing within PowerPoint slides. A PowerPoint presentation needs to be as clear and as organized as possible. The logical flow of information should occur at a number of levels in your slides. The first one of them being the initial formatting. What you want to have is a clear structure, which remains consistent throughout the entire presentation. If you set up your page in the following way: a title on the top and content respecting certain borders, as shown here, the readers or viewers of your presentation will expect you to respect these alignments in all of your slides. So, the first point that we'd like to stress out is the following: you have to be consistent with the format of your presentation. This is very important. It shows your audience how professional and detail-oriented you actually are. It is crucial to create a good structure. Firstly, you want to make sure that you leave some unused space, like we have done in this slide here. Do not fill the whole slide with content, as it renders it too complex and cluttered. See how this slide is suffocating from content? It is better to leave some unmarked space around the visual elements as well. Usually, you want to leave a good amount of space between the title and the slide's content, as shown here. Making good use of free space makes it easy for your audience to organize the information being presented in their mind, and it helps them to comprehend it faster. Grid lines can be a useful tool, which allow us to get a better idea of spacing. In order to find it, we have to go to the View tab. Here we can click on Grid Lines, and all of these grid lines to which we can align objects in the document will appear. Grid lines can be quite useful in situations when we want to gain an idea of whether spacing is equally distant to the left and to the right. Each of these tiny dots can be used in order to enhance your precision. The last thing that we'll discuss in this lesson is slide layout. It can be quite difficult for someone who has less experience until he figures out how to organize the content that he has to present. Typically, the content of slides in corporate presentations is organized in the following formats: full page. The whole slide represents one page. Horizontal half page. The slide is divided into two parts. Readers would read it in the following order. Vertical half page. The slide is divided into two parts, and very often the right page contains text, which serves as description of the content standing on the left. Quarter page. A very popular format, often used in order to save space. Typically, we would see either 4 separate pages with content, as we have here, or 2 pages with content on the left and 2 pages containing text description on the right. 1/6 of a page, a format that is often used in order to show a series of charts. This was our lesson covering the initial structure and types of slides that we are likely to see in a PowerPoint presentation. Next, we will learn how to save a lot of time by using shortcut combinations within PowerPoint. Thanks for watching. Keyboard shortcuts are the favorite tool of experienced users. They allow you to save a lot of time, especially when the number of operations to be carried out on a specific slide is substantial. The universal Windows shortcuts can be applied in PowerPoint as well. For example, if you would like to copy an item, you can use Ctrl and C, while you can paste it with Ctrl and V. The shortcut for cutting an item is Ctrl and X. After we've cut an item, we can use Ctrl and V and paste it into its new position. We can use these commands for text as well. Please take some time going through the document that comes after this lesson. It is a list of some of the most popular keyboard shortcuts that are used in PowerPoint. We can easily find many keyboard shortcuts by using the Alt key. By pressing Alt without holding, we can activate the tabs for the PowerPoint ribbon. Then we can click the letter corresponding to the tab that we want to open. For example, I'll click N, and the Insert tab would open. Here it is. Within the tab, we continue to see the letters for each of the buttons. If we want to insert a picture, we can just press P, and this brings up the Insert Picture dialog box. So in general, we can say that most commands involving Alt are shortcuts to the commands in the main tabs of the PowerPoint ribbon. There is one slight complication, though. Compared to Excel, PowerPoint needs more steps in order to perform a given action. Most of the time, you need to work with 4 or 5 letter combinations in order to carry out the operation that you require. Therefore, you need to practice the combinations a lot in order to memorize these longer shortcuts. In the list with shortcuts that is provided after this lesson, you will find a number of shortcuts, which start with the Control key and are much simpler to memorize. Later in this course, we will show a good alternative which is often preferred by some PowerPoint users. This will do it for now. Thank you for watching. In this video, we will learn how to insert various types of objects in PowerPoint presentations and how to modify their formatting. When we want to add an object, we have to click on the Insert tab, where we'll find a number of options. We can choose whether to add a table, a picture, clip art, shapes, etc. Let's say that we would like to add a rectangular box. We will simply click on Shapes, go to Rectangles, and select the type of box that we would like to add. Afterwards, we will adjust the size of the box by positioning the mouse in the corner of the box and resizing it as much as needed. Let's insert the same type of shape again. What I'd like to show you here is that PowerPoint recognizes that we already have a shape on this slide and allows us to create a new shape with the same width as the shape above. This functionality is very useful. It was introduced in the later versions of PowerPoint and is a great way of aligning the size of objects. We can easily insert pictures into our presentations too. We have to go to Insert, select Picture, and find where the picture that we need is located. Once it is in our presentation, it often occurs that we need to resize the given picture. As with any other object in PowerPoint, we can grab the angle of the picture in the following way and resize it according to our preferences. Again, notice how the program recognizes that there is another shape on the sheet and gives us the option to align the size of the picture with the other object. When you crop an image, a part of the picture is removed. Cropping may be helpful when a picture has a lot of content and you want to focus on only a part of it. You can find the functionality in the following way. Click on the picture and the Format tab appears. In the Format tab, you will easily find the Crop button. Click on it and crop the parts of the picture that you don't need. For example, I will crop some parts of the logo, as I'd like to obtain a smaller version. This is how we crop pictures. Charts are an essential part of business presentations. They allow your audience to visualize the data that you are referring to and are, in general, a widely used tool in the corporate world. Given that they are created in Microsoft Excel, we need to know how to import them in PowerPoint. In order to do that, we have to open Excel, copy the chart that we would like to insert in PowerPoint, and then paste it. You can paste it with the so-called regular pasting, but it is much better to use Paste Special. I'll use the Alt plus E plus S combination, which is the shortcut for Paste Special. In the dialog box that opens, we can see the various Paste Special options. In order to paste charts, practitioners often use Microsoft Office Graphic Object and Picture Enhanced Metafile. The difference between the two is that the first one keeps the connection with the Excel file and would update when the file is updated, while the Enhanced Metafile object is a good-looking picture. Let's use Enhanced Metafile. Here is our chart. We managed to copy it successfully from Excel. This is how we insert various kinds of objects in a PowerPoint presentation. Thanks for watching. Quick access toolbar buttons are a good way to save time and have the most frequently used commands a single click away. We can add every command that is contained in the 9 tabs right here in the upper left part of the screen. Let's demonstrate how to do that. I will click on the File tab and select Options. Once I am in the Options menu, I can select Quick Access Toolbar, where I can find all of the commands within PowerPoint. I'll use the drop-down menu, next to which is written Choose Commands From, in order to find the commands that I am looking for. Once I have found a command of interest, it will be added to Quick Access Toolbar by clicking on the Add button. If I would like to remove a command from the Quick Access Toolbar, I will use the Remove button instead. You do not have to perform these operations every time you start a new presentation, as each modification of the Quick Access Toolbar will already be available. Usually, it is very convenient to select the following commands for your Quick Access Toolbar. Align left, align center, align right, align top, align bottom, distribute horizontally, distribute vertically, group. After we add a command to the Quick Access Toolbar, we can use it with a single mouse click. Let me provide an example. I'll add 2 shapes to our slide. We can align these shapes with the Quick Access Toolbar commands that we just added. I'll select the 2 shapes and click on the Align Left button. As you can see, the 2 objects were aligned. Now, I would like to show you a very interesting technique that would allow you to use the Quick Access Toolbar buttons through the keyboard. As we already saw in the lesson, the Alt key activates the PowerPoint ribbon. It also activates the Quick Access Toolbar buttons that we just added. By pressing Alt and one of the numbers that we see in the upper left part of the screen, we will trigger the respective command. Given that the first button in my Quick Access Toolbar is the Align Left command, I can press Alt and 1, and this would align the two objects to the left. Note that we are using only two keys, Alt and a number. That's perfect, right? Easy to remember and fast to execute. It's up to you whether you decide that you prefer to use the keyboard or click on the Quick Access Toolbar buttons with the mouse. Both methods are fast.
In this next extract, we will learn how to align objects within a presentation, a very important tool which would allow you to produce high quality and professional output. Watch this short video and make another step towards PowerPoint proficiency.
In this slide, we have three rectangular boxes. Let's say that we would like to have all three of them aligned. We can choose whether to align them with respect to the top box, whether to align them with respect to the box in the middle, or align them to the bottom. In order to do any of these operations, I'll select the three boxes and click on the Format tab, where we can find the Align button. I'll click on it and choose the type of alignment that is needed. Let's say that we want to have all three boxes on the top. Therefore, I'll pick Align Top. The three boxes are perfectly aligned as a result of entering this command. We can also align the three objects horizontally, to the right, to the left, and in the center. Let's provide an example of horizontal alignment. I'll select the three boxes and click Align to the left. And all three of them are aligned with respect to the leftmost box. There are three ways to use the Align commands. We already saw the first way, using the button which is located in the Format tab. With this method, we had to use the mouse in order to access the Format tab, which makes the whole process longer and time-consuming. Quick Access Toolbar buttons are a viable alternative. In the previous video, we saw how to add the most frequently used commands to the Quick Access Toolbar. The advantage of this approach is that the user does not have to go through multiple tabs and menus in order to find the commands that he needs. A third option is to use a keyboard shortcut. I will move the three elements and redo the same operation by using a keyboard shortcut. Okay, do you remember how this is done? We already saw how to use keyboard shortcuts during our second lesson. I can activate the tabs of the PowerPoint ribbon by pressing the Alt key. Then, I simply trace the letters assigned to each of the menus. I will select H in order to access the Home tab, and then I will select G, which corresponds to the Arrange button. Here we will have to press A, which stands for Align, and finally press the L letter in order to align the three items to the left. As you can see, some of the shortcuts in PowerPoint are very long and can be difficult to remember. You can choose the approach that best suits you. Quick Access Toolbar buttons seem like a good combination in terms of speed and ease of use. You can also consider using keyboard shortcuts. We learned how to align objects in our slides. Let's go a step further and see how to distribute objects evenly. In the slide that you see, we have three rectangular boxes containing text. As you can see, they are not distributed evenly on the sheet. In order to do that, we will have to select them and access the Format tab. Once we are there, we can click on Align, and in the drop-down list, we will choose Distribute Horizontally. PowerPoint perfectly distributes the three objects, leaving an equal amount of space between them. The same thing can be done when we have to distribute objects vertically. In the next slide, we have three objects that have to be aligned vertically. In order to do that, I will select the objects, access the Align menu, and select Distribute Vertically. Here is the result. an equal amount of vertical space between each of the 3 boxes. This is how we can align and distribute objects in PowerPoint. Thank you for watching.
The Format Shape menu is one of the most important features of PowerPoint. It allows us to carry out a large amount of operations which shape an object's appearance in a variety of ways. Please pay attention to this lesson as it is an important one.
The slide that we see on this page contains a single rectangular box. Let's explore some of the ways in which we can modify it. We have to select the object and right-click on it. Once we've done that, we can open the Format Shape menu. There are a number of properties that can be adjusted for a given object. We can modify its fill, line color, line style, shadow, and reflection details. All of these features are grouped on the left side of the menu. Each group on its own contains a number of options that are displayed once we select it. For example, when we click on Fill, we can modify the color of the object's fill, the interior of the shape that we have selected. I can select No Fill, and the interior of the box will become transparent, as you can see. Solid Fill is the default option on PowerPoint. We can select one of these colors, and the box will be filled with it. Here it is. In addition to that, the transparency of the applied colors can be adjusted by using the transparency percentage scale. Sometimes a gradient fill is used as well. It is an advanced tool and represents a shape change that gradually changes from one color to another across the surface of the shape. The default number of gradient stops is 3. Let's simply leave it as it is. We can click on each of the stops and modify its color in the following way. If necessary, we can adjust the position of each of the stops until we obtain the desired effect. Let's select Line Color Settings, as a line is the intended external border of the selected shape. In this section of the menu, we can modify such external line and shape it according to our taste. If we click on No Line, the line defining the borders of the object would disappear. By default, we have a solid line. We can easily modify its color by clicking on Color and selecting a color of our choice. Similarly to what we had for shapes, we can also adjust the transparency of the line color. In Line Style, we will find some additional line properties. For example, we can adjust the width of the line from this scale. I'll reduce these figures in order to obtain a thinner line. Let's say that we want a width of 0.5 inches. Here it is, a significantly thinner line. We will go through the arrow settings in one of the later videos in this course. Next comes the Shadow section of the Format Shape menu. Newly created objects in PowerPoint do not have a shadow by default. We can add a shadow effect from this menu. Practitioners often do that as a shadow effect adds extra flair to PowerPoint slides. Very often in this course, we will add a shadow to newly created objects in the following way: directly clicking on Transparency and adjusting it to 80% or 90%. You can see that this triggered the modification of some of the other parameters. Once we have the shadow, which is transparent at 80%, we will reduce the blur and distance to 3 and set an angle of 45 degrees. This creates a pleasant shadow effect, which sharpens the selected object and does not irritate the eye. Reflection and glow effects can be created in a similar way, depending on the output that we would like to obtain. I'd like to show you what these effects represent in practice. First of all, I will create a reflection, which is transparent at 50%. Here it is. It is a bit too strong. I'd recommend that you use a higher degree of transparency when you would like to use reflections in your presentations. In order to create a glow effect, I'll select Glow and Soft Edges. We have to pick a size and degree of transparency. I'll add a size of 10, transparency of 60%, and I'll leave the default color as it is. This is what a glow effect looks like. We will not cover the 3D format, 3D rotation, picture corrections, picture color, and artistic effects sections, as they are outside the scope of this course. The rest of the sections of the Format Shape menu will be covered in our next videos. This will do for now. Hi! During this lesson, we will learn how to adjust the formatting of text in PowerPoint presentations. There are two main ways to include text in PowerPoint. The first one is to create an object, let's say a rectangular box. Click on it with the right mouse button and then select Edit Text. This will allow us to type within the box. The second possibility is to add a text box. We can do this by going to the Insert tab and selecting the Text Box button. The main difference between the two approaches is that text boxes are transparent by default, and their size increases according to the quantity of text that we insert in them. On the other hand, a rectangular box would not change its borders, even if we type more text in it. The text will leave its borders if it does not fit its size. In order to modify the font of text in PowerPoint, we have to go to the Home tab and change it from the drop-down list containing hundreds of fonts. The type of font that we will choose for a presentation is important, as it contributes significantly to its final appearance. It is also important to be consistent when using fonts in a presentation. Almost all business presentations use a single font. In this course, we will use Arial. So let's change the font of the text within the box to Arial. I will click on the box and then type Arial within the font menu. You can see that PowerPoint automatically provides a suggestion based on the letters that I am typing. We can adjust the text's font size from the button within the Home tab, which stands right next to Font. Let's use a font size of 12. Here it is. We can emphasize text by putting it in bold, using italic, or underlining it. We will see practical examples of these features in many of the next videos. If we want to change the color of text within PowerPoint slides, we can do that by using the Font Color button. Let's do it. I will select the text and change the text color to dark blue. In the Paragraph section of the Home tab are the commands, which will allow us to modify the alignment of text. We can choose whether to align it to the left, have it in the center, or align it to the right. The Align Text button determines whether the text would be on the top, in the middle, or at the bottom of the box. Depending on the information you need to present, you may find that bullet point format helps to make your text clear, concise, and easy to read. While you are in Edit Text mode, you can use the Bullets button, which is in the Home tab, and select the type of bullets that you would like to introduce. The size of the selected bullets will automatically adjust with the font size of the text that you are using. These are the most important commands that you will need to know when you have to work with text in PowerPoint. Thanks for watching.